We survived and thrived. We have a much stronger business in India than our competition. Accelerate India's journey into electrification, but not just that, but make India a global hub for truly taking EV to humanity scale. India has to be a world leader in this technology revolution. We can't miss it out. So we have 3,000 women that we have hired in the factory over the last 1 year. There's no man working on the line. It's all women. Consumers will not buy anything if it's good for the environment and bad for them.
Madness of a dream is Bhavesh Agrawal, right? And then I really have to say, Bhavesh, we can all have different points of view, but what we can't today disagree is that we have Ola in our country. We have Ola Electric in our country. And you are like, hum kisi se kam nahi.
श्रद्धा, थैंक यू सो मच. ऐसे इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद आई थिंक कभी कुछ बोलने को रहा नहीं मेरे पास.
अभी सुनो, अभी तो पिक्चर बाकी है.
No, but coming here today, I felt like I'm going to meet a friend and a dear friend. And you were right. I was here 11 years ago as a young kid, 20 kilos lesser, lot more hair on my head. And I feel like both a veteran of TechSparks. I think I've been here 4 or 5 times. And I feel like a fanboy of you and TechSparks and your story. I mean, what you have done for the ecosystem, it's very important for the Indian startup ecosystem to have a champion. And I don't think there's a champion better than Shraddha, who, yeah, you have truly led with your passion for the startup ecosystem. And things will go up and down for everybody, companies, ecosystem. But in the end, the vision is clear for everybody in society, and you truly embody that.
Bhavesh, abhi you are saying like this, na? Whenever I see that Karan Johar show and Alia Bhatt, I think kitna nepotism hai. But what is coming out is a genuine regard, witnessing each other's journey and your journey, Bhavesh. And I always say I have been a true champion because what you're doing is not easy, because we are not sitting in US, we are not sitting in China, we are sitting in India and making that happen. And with that, बहुत तारीफ हो गई.
But on that note, on the note of this is India's moment, Shraddha.
Yeah.
I really feel so. I feel, I became an entrepreneur 12 years ago. To 2010, I became an entrepreneur. I was a young 24-year-old back then. I was full of optimism as a young person. I think I'm even more optimistic today. But today, when you look around, you look at the energy in the country, and when I travel around, I travel to the West, I travel to China, around the world, people are tired and people are confused. But India has energy, India has clarity, India has stability, India has confidence, India has youth and energy. So this is truly our moment.
I have been reading a lot of news lately, and I have been reading and I've been watching a lot of social media lately, and you're notorious, right? you are creating this kind of, मैं कह रही थी ना हिंदी में, मतलब स्टार्टअप वर्ल्ड के डॉन बन गए आप.
अरे यार.
नहीं, अभी तो न्यूज़ आया कि लोग दौड़ रहे हैं, पता नहीं भावेश is a tyrant, and there is this whole culture that you're building. And I was talking to someone I respect and who is your mentor, very close to you, TVG, and he said Bhavesh is one of his kind. And he runs with that paranoia that he has to build something world class. But I want to address this news that we are reading, that there is a lot of militancy inside Ola, and the culture is really scary. So please take this question head on and address this.
No, I also read the same reports, and so I'm a very simple, straightforward person, and we are a very simple company with a very clear goal here. Actually, I'll start with an example from Bollywood. वो एक मूवी आई थी अभी कपिल देव वाली 83 सबने देखी होगी या काफी लोगों ने देखी होगी. उसमें एक डायलॉग है जब उसका प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा होता है, and the media asks, why are you here? And he says, we here to win, right? So that's the passion with which we work. We are a very pure company in the sense of our mission. We want to build a world-class company out of India. We want to create impact for India at national scale, at international scale. And this journey is not going to be easy. You know, we are not here to have a nice time at Ola. I am not here to have a nice time, make money, have a nice house. All those things will happen in due course. But the reason I became an entrepreneur, the reason Ola exists, is to truly make an impact and a deep impact on society for India, for our company, and for myself, and for the world, right? And in that journey, there are people who share the passion, and there are people who want to create this kind of impact at scale. And you know, those kind of people work really well at Ola. And there are some people who might be looking for something else in life. They might be looking for a more balanced life, or a more something else. Ola is not the right place for them. I'm not judging them, but Ola is a place where if you're a passionate, energetic young person, or even not young but passionate and energetic, and you want to create impact, you will do wonders at Ola. And there are so many examples of people who have done this. Ola, you use such good words for Ola, वो सब मैंने अकेले थोड़ी ना किया है. You know, I'll be the most biggest Superman if it was just me who had done that. And you know, a lot of times this passion with which I work, with which Ola works, is misunderstood. And then those misunderstandings become urban myths. Right? Like, for example, the thing you refer to, कि लोग दौड़ रहे हैं factory के आसपास.
Yeah.
You know, the irony is, जिस incident को वो refer कर रही है, वो report, the person, firstly ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं कि 3 लोग दौड़े, and that person is very happily in Ola. So the incident was something else. It's become an urban myth.
The startup ecosystem in India, I would say, is 12, 13 years max old. You know, when you look at building Ola and Ola Electric, what kind of organization are you looking at building?
You know, over the last decade, the word culture has become a goal in itself. Whereas companies have been built for centuries. And I don't think, you know, 20 साल पहले किसी को कोई entrepreneur से पूछा था, आपका culture खराब है, आपका culture सही है. Culture is not the yardstick by which you judge a company. Culture is what creates the impact by which you judge a company. So I actually say this internally, I say this externally also, that people should judge Ola and me by the impact we are creating. And to create that impact, to work on truly challenging problems, even at scale and even technically very challenging, we have to have a culture of impact. You know, in simple words, we are a very entrepreneurial company. We are a company which does a lot of first principles thinking, a lot of disruption. We are not in businesses which existed and it's all a matter of, okay, balance sheet लगा दो और वो अपने आप business बन जाएगा. The businesses we have done well in are businesses where you have to truly imagine a business model, create something out of scratch, and scale it, right? And to do that, you need a lot of energy. You need to want impact, and you need to be wanting to work hard. And you know, the people who are part of this culture at Ola are those who are working for a higher goal than just you know, feeling satisfied with a 9-to-5 job. And that higher goal is about, like I said in the beginning, this is India's moment. You know, we all grew up when we were all growing up, India was, we used to feel कि यार वो अमेरिका में कुछ हो रहा है, यूरोप में कुछ हो रहा है, अच्छा जापान में भी कुछ हो रहा है, चाइना में भी कुछ हो रहा है. But why can't we make the country of our dreams in our lifespan? You know, that's the passion that I have.
Many years back, when Ola was here, there was this whole media and everyone saying that Uber is here and Ola has no chance. And now you're doing Ola Electric, and we all look up to, you know, Tesla, Elon Musk, and everyone else. And then you are saying that, and you challenged Elon Musk also, right? On social media.
On his media.
On his media.
उसके घर पे जाकर.
And one has to give it to you, the audacity of that dream. And that is what everyone in this room, everyone in this country is living. Bhavish, tell me, having that grand vision or usko execute karna, when you have that kind of competition from across the world, how do you make that happen?
You know, you chronicled this very nicely, Shraddha. So when we started off, I was a young boy trying to build a taxi company. And then, and that time also, there were a lot of competition. There was a company called Meru, there was Taxi for Show, every city had its own company, and then eventually Uber came in. And you're right, everybody said Uber, American company, a lot of capital, and rightly so, that they will survive. But we survived and thrived, and today we have a much stronger business in India than our competition. And same will be applicable in the electric domain also, because we were never trying to build XYZ for India. We were very honest and true about our vision and our opportunity. So when I look at the electric opportunity, right, if you look at this major transformation that is happening in the world of clean energy, and transportation is one of the biggest consumers of clean energy. Every vehicle that moves will over time move to an electrified alternative. I started Ola Electric in 2018 actually. It's 4 years. जब मैंने शुरू की थी तब लोग बोल रहे थे क्या पागल हो गया electric क्या है? Nobody knew what electric was. Tesla was also having its worst days back then. So we started off at a time when it was unclear what this technology revolution is and what it means. But today everybody acknowledges that the world is going to be all electric. It's only a matter of what path the world takes to there and what time it takes. But what companies like Tesla and others in the West have done is they have built an electric paradigm for the West. Even a Model 3, for example, which is the cheapest car Tesla makes, is a $50,000, $60,000 car. Now, how many people in India or Africa or Indonesia or other places will buy that car? So to truly make the EV revolution go to humanity scale, we have to really electrify markets and customers in India, or markets like India, because that's what makes up the majority of the world. The majority of the world the agenda is no longer set in the West. The agenda is set everywhere around the world, and India is the best microcosm of the rest of the world. India is like 20% of the world. And the EV revolution to go to humanity scale will need to happen in India. And for that to happen in India, we need to build products that Indians want. Now, what are the products that Indians want? And the products that Indians want are, two-wheelers, scooters, motorbikes, small cars, mid-sized cars, aspirational cars also, but at Indian price points. And that's what we are building. We are building electric vehicles in the price point of 1 lakh to 50 lakh rupees. And that is what I believe we can be a world leader in building this. Definitely accelerate India's journey into electrification, but not just that, but make India a global hub for truly taking EV to humanity scale.
But to do that, and at the pace with which you are doing it, and with the competition, not just global, but also right here in our own country. So many traditional players are also getting into EV. So many startups are coming. And of course, EV is a hot category now. And EV ancillary and infrastructure funding and everything requires a certain metal, will require certain capital, will require certain infrastructure, all the factories that we see and everything that you are building. Tell me, what will be the playbook to win?
If you look at when we got into the EV domain, I started the company, the Ola Electric company in 2018. But we really started scaling up our efforts about a year and a half or 2 years ago after COVID. And at that time, already in the world, the American ecosystem or the Western ecosystem had moved along on the electrification journey. China has, invested very aggressively for almost 1.5 decades in the whole EV ecosystem, not just end products, but the technology value chain below. So many times I got asked that, "Aapko itni jaldi kyun hai?" Right?
भाई मैं अच्छे से पूछ नहीं पा रही थी, but yes.
No, jaldi hai kyunki India has to be a world leader in this technology revolution. We can't miss it out. And it's not just Ola, but the whole Indian ecosystem has to together do this. So my question to the incumbent companies who have been around for multiple decades, maybe 2-3 generations of promoters, they've been around. भाई आप सो क्यों रहे थे? Right? आपने कुछ किया क्यों नहीं? वो market ready नहीं है, तो market को तो ready करना पड़ेगा ना? When we came on, everybody was saying market ready नहीं. आज देख लो. Market, when we started off in June, August last year, we had our first product launch. June last year, the whole market in India sold 4,000 EVs. October, the market sold 80,000 EVs. 20x in 1 year. What has changed?
You're feeling so happy answering this question.
I am happy in general, Shraddha, especially when I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
No, but to your broader question on what will India need to do, right? I think the opportunity is really there for India to be the world's leader in taking EVs to humanity scale. Now, what India will need to do is to build a different paradigm, starting from the products that the world needs, which I said, markets like India, Southeast Asia, Latin America, Africa, even parts of Europe need a very different product solution. That is what India needs to be a global leader in. But it's not okay to just do that, because the world of electrification, the world of this new energy technology transformation has a full technology value chain behind it. And we need to be masters in that too. That's why we have set up our cell technology business too, where we are building the cell ourselves. We are not, right now we procure from outside India, but we will, by next year, we'll be the first company to manufacture at scale lithium ion cells in India by end of next year. And imagine a software company doing this. So but that is very critical for India to do. For India to have supply chain security, we need to make the core technologies which make the EV revolution happen. And not just manufacture them, but do enough research and development, technology innovation, IP creation to truly control the technology evolution over the next decade or two. Because these are not technologies which are commodities. It's very different from the consumer internet era where largely you are driving efficiency and access through your digital technologies. These are places where you actually have to create patents, you actually have to create IP, and you have to compete with the best in the world in doing so. And if we succeed in doing this, if India succeeds in doing this, India will become a global hub of these technologies. So right from manufacturing the core components to creating the technology roadmap for those core components to building the final products, and then to distributing them in India and across the world. These are the four things that if India does well, not just Ola, if India does well, we will be a world leader in the EV revolution over the next decade.
Yeah, Bhavesh, what you're also saying is that it also opens up massive job opportunities, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So when we built our factory, we built it in 6 months flat. It's 1 million square feet built in 6 months flat. But that's not even the most astonishing thing about it. The most astonishing thing is it is run all by women. So we have 3,000 women that we have hired in the factory over the last 1 year. There's no man working on the line. It's all women. And these were all young girls. These are not uneducated girls. They have diplomas, they have degrees, but they didn't have jobs in that in that area. So they would have gotten married, they would have not worked, and now they're part of the productive industrial workforce.
I want to say something which we don't discuss in tech conferences and events. I have to call this out because I was talking to TVG that in your factory you created a huge furor, whatever, Bhavish, you did. Because, and now that I hear they were women, is that the urinals were not clean. And you said that why cannot factory workers have a safe, clean bathroom to go to?
That's a interesting. You've been digging up all anecdotes on me, Shraddha.
Yeah.
But you know what happened, and this is also part of just the our. We have a big VIP culture in our society, for whatever hangover reasons, and it's nowhere more represented in industrial setups across the country because industrial setups are very lalaji and kaam karne wala. It's very much between those two worlds. So when we set up our factory, we hired all these girls, and then there was a period last year, same time last year, when I had to spend almost 3 to 4 months in the factory, living in the factory to scale it up. And I was new to manufacturing, and it's very hard to scale up a complex manufacturing process. But when I was doing that, the first day I noticed that VIP toilet alag hai and worker toilet alag hai. Then I said, no, isko same hona chahiye. It took the managers in the factory 2 weeks to reconcile to the fact that VIP toilet और आम toilet same होना चाहिए. जिस दिन same हो गया, उस दिन सारे toilet साफ हो गए.
How are you looking at the infrastructure around you? Are you going to be looking at inorganic growth? Are you going to look at acquisitions? Are you looking at partnering? How are you looking at building the market?
I would say, and from my own experience in the last 1 to 2 years, the technology that we are building at Ola is absolutely cutting edge in the world. When I travel now, we're looking to expand Ola overseas significantly now. Everybody in all, be it the Middle East, be it Europe, be it elsewhere, they are wanting us to invest into their ecosystems because not of our capital, but because of our technology. And that has been possible because in India, there has been, over the last few years, very strong government and regulatory support for this EV transition. Many times people, in Indian business community, थोड़ी आदत सी बन गई थी लोगों की कि अरे government कुछ नहीं कर रही, government तो बहुत कुछ कर रही है. I would say the Indian government has done the maximum possible for any other government in the world on pushing the electrification agenda in terms of subsidies, in terms of encouragement, in terms of opening up the government for business into these new technologies. And now it's the job of entrepreneurs to create on top of that strong foundational government support, be it the products, etc., or also infrastructure. So the reason I gave this prelude is because many times people presume infrastructure banane ka kaam sarkar ka hai. But the government has done more than that in terms of enabling a very enabling environment to do so. Now, when we talk about what infrastructure is required for EV transformation, right? I would broadly classify it into two buckets. One is the supply chains need to exist in India. We need to have enough capacity to make electric motors in India. We need to have enough capacity to make electronic parts in India, because this is what is used more so in EVs. We need to have capacity to make cells, lithium-ion cells in India. So that's one bucket, which we are doing our bit. But I also see a lot of energy and momentum in the supplier ecosystem to invest. And also, they've also been just waiting for a company to come and lead this transition for them to be comfortable investing. And now I see a lot of suppliers invest rupees to grow their capacity. So that's one. Second level of infrastructure will be the charging infrastructure. Now, sometimes we all, all of us as society and humans, हमको लगता है कि चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर उतना ही चाहिए होगा जितना पेट्रोल पंप है, बिकॉज वो 100 साल से आदत लगी हुई है कि गाड़ी है मतलब पेट्रोल पंप जाके भराना है उसमें पेट्रोल. But EVs are different. EVs run on electricity, and the largest distribution network of electricity already exists. It's called the grid, right? यहाँ हर plug point में electricity आती है. So the challenge is not as much of setting up a lot of charging infrastructure in replacement of petrol stations. You will need some skeletal infrastructure, but you also need to enable, like, every parking spot in a housing society needs to have a wall plug point. क्योंकि गाड़ी रात में वहाँ खड़ी होगी, वहाँ पे प्लग कर लो, रात में चार्ज हो जाएगी, जैसे आपका फोन आपके बेड साइड पे चार्ज होता है. So it'll need a little bit of more creative thinking to leverage existing infrastructure to create new infrastructure.
But are you going to look at partnering, acquiring? You invested in a European company, right?
Yeah.
Are you looking at those avenues?
Over the years, I've also really evolved my understanding of what constitutes a successful M&A. We've done a few. We've done much lesser than some of our other peers in the consumer internet space or otherwise. Today, we are very clear that we will acquire if there's a genuine technology value or talent value to the company. This general revenue acquisition, scale acquisition, I feel is always too expensive. But अगर किसी ने कोई niche technology develop करी है, for example, in the cell domain, if somebody is working on solid state batteries in India and we can invest in them or acquire them over time, we would be very interested in doing that. And we're actually doing a lot of partnerships, including investing into companies across the technology value chain of mobility, and specifically electric mobility.
Bhavish, there's this whole perception when it comes to electric vehicles on safety, right? It's also a mindset that we've had since last, whenever we first heard of electric vehicles on safety, and there was a social media backlash that you faced, and you took on head on and responded on that. I just want you to, not on that, but just how do you see the electric vehicle space? Because when it comes to US also, and of course there it is more to do with autonomous vehicles and the safety and the protocols around it. What do you have to say, and how is it evolving?
Safety has to be absolutely the top focus for an automotive company, even more so in the electric domain. And even for us, we place safety above all, right? We build a safety culture and a safety focus across the work at Ola, at manufacturing level, at the supplier level, at our own design and engineering stage, and then at the customer level. We have 4 different levels of focus on quality and safety. Now, we had one incident, only one. People think there were 10, 20 such incidents, and एक incident हुआ है. And we have sold more than 100,000 vehicles over the last 10 months. There were some other incidents with other companies also. In general, if you look at the EV safety of a good quality engineered, good engineered EV vehicle, it is an order of magnitude lesser than a gasoline or an ICE vehicle. But वो हमारे को, it's gone into the blind spot. The ICE vehicle safety record has gone into the blind spot because we've lived with it for so many years as society and as consumers. But EVs are new. EVs also make incumbents uncomfortable. So there's an incumbent lobby trying to amplify any small thing that happens. But that said, our focus will always remain on making sure we are moving the bar ahead on safety. And that's why one of the reasons we decided to build our own cell is so that we can customize the technologies for an Indian reality. Right now, the cells we get are all from East Asia, largely, Korea, Japan, etc. Many other companies in India get their cells from China, which are generally lower quality. But we are investing in our own cell capability so that we can make cells which can perform better at slightly higher ambient temperatures, which can perform better at slightly higher consumer requirements of power and energy, And that's the way you structurally will even further improve safety in electric vehicles. From already, it's a order of magnitude better than ICE vehicles.
You know, maybe I can get away with this, so I'm going to ask you to do this, that what you did 11 years back. If you had to pitch to all of us, why should we buy Ola electric vehicle from you and not from someone else, then this is an impromptu this thing. So please pitch to all of us.
You know, before I pitch, many times people feel that consumers will buy electric because it's good for the environment. I don't think consumers will not buy anything if it's good for the environment and bad for them. You know, it's just stupid for anybody to buy something which is good for environment and bad for themselves. So the first and foremost thing for any company to do to succeed is to build great products and to build products which are significantly better than what exists in the market. And I believe our product is the best in the market. So, so hence people should buy our product. It's as simple a pitch as that. But that said, I also believe that no matter which EV people choose, once you use an EV, you are never going back to an ICE vehicle. It's such a disruption and such a generational advancement of what you expect from your vehicle, right? Any EV customers here in the crowd? Any EV owners? Are you ever going to buy an ICE vehicle again? Yes or no? No. See, so vehement, log kam hai jinhone EV kharidi, but all of them are saying no. See, this is why I also feel the EV disruption, all analysts feel will happen over a gradual pace. That 2030 tak 30% or 40% of Indian two-wheeler will be EV, 2035 tak 50% of Indian four-wheeler will be EV. I cannot disagree with that more. Not because I have a vested interest. This is a live, this will be recorded so we can come back and see whether my prediction was true or not. But I feel the EV inflection will be an S-curve. Like all disruptions are S-curves. You know, it looks like linear to people commenting from the outside in the beginning of that disruption, but before you know it, it's done. Like the ride-sharing disruption was an S-curve. 2014 se leke 2017 tak, our scale grew maybe 1,000 times. Right? E-commerce was an S-curve, and then you get into a steady growth rate after that. Similarly, the EV disruption is going to be an S-curve. Why? Because the product experience for the consumer is significantly better than the ICE vehicle, significantly cheaper to use, and the supply chain readiness to offer this value proposition at this price point is ready now. It's all a matter of companies creating the products across the product range and consumers adopting them. And consumers are the smartest. Consumers को कोई advertising नहीं चाहिए to understand उनके लिए better क्या है.
The last 2 years of pandemic, like we spoke about travel industry, we spoke about different industries, but last 2 years also had a was impactful to you, to your space, like Ola, right? And that's why sometimes you need to be like you, a founder like you, to pull it through, right? But it was tough.
It was very tough for us and the whole ecosystem that relied on ride sharing, because business went to zero in the beginning. Right?
Yeah.
But the business today is much big. I would say not much bigger, but it's recovered much more than pre-COVID levels already. We are bigger than pre-COVID levels. We are much more stronger as a business model. The supply of drivers has also grown now. The business model there has diversified into multiple formats. It was the auto rickshaw business has picked up a lot more. The two-wheeler business has picked up a lot more. So the business, the reality is that whenever somebody needs to travel, they will need a solution for either public transport or ride sharing or personal travel. And we now offer 2 out of those 3.
What is the inner journey that you've made in the last 11 years? What are some of the things that while you are on the fast lane, what are some of the things that you worked within yourself, on yourself?
I'm a very passionate and driven person.
That we all know, we can see.
But also, in that sense, I'm a very straightforward person also. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, good or bad, right? So I've also had my share of reflections in my journey, learnings. I've also learned more about myself in the last decade. There was a phase when I was trying to grow in Ola, the mobility business, into a bunch of other Me Too businesses. And it was wrong for us. We should not have tried going into businesses where there was already somebody else, and just for the sake of हमें भी GMV बनाना है, हमें भी ये करना है. No, that's not who I am. That's not who Ola is. Ola and I excel when we are truly thinking long term, when we are truly thinking of creating something world class from India. And there's a big creation energy and excitement there, right? And that's why we've excelled at electric, and that's why we excel at ride sharing. We were the pioneers, and we are pioneers in electric, and that's what I have realized about myself, that those are the kind of businesses and opportunities that I and Ola will always go after. Something which can have big impact and can truly involve a lot of creation and a lot of deep value creation.
Do you do anything like meditation, yoga, all these kind of things? Pray to God, go to temples. What are some of the things that you do besides being in the factory?
I never miss on my sleep. I'm a very sound sleeper. I got my wife here today, so because I wanted her to also see the work that the community that I work in. But she will vouch for this. It's very hard to wake me up in the morning. like I'm a very sound sleeper. I leave all my troubles for the day in the night when I get home, and I just sleep 6 hours, 7. जो भी नींद मिलती है मैं बहुत sound सोता हूँ.
IPO के लिए कब जा रहे हैं?
हमने actually plan तो last year सारा बना लिया था. We had
हाँ.
the DRHP drafted and all, and then the whole macro situation changed, and then we decided to pull it back. There's no urgency for us to list because we wouldn't do it for the need for capital. Our mobility business is very profitable. It's underappreciated how well that business is working right now. So IPO karenge, next year karenge. There's no urgency, but it is definitely on the roadmap.
You gave the headline too. So 2023.
Yeah. Abhi though Ola Electric has also become fairly big. We are the largest EV company in India by revenue. Very soon we'll be profitable on that business also. So now the question is, kaun sa wala pehle IPO hoga?
Wow. Okay. Bhavesh, now we will close with a rapid fire. I'll tell you some words and you have to tell me what comes to your mind first. मैंने बहुत लोगों को पूछा. I hope you didn't see the earlier. Okay. Money.
Money is a tool for creation.
Okay. Desire.
Desire is ambition.
Failure.
Learning.
Rejections.
Introspection.
Wow. Dream.
Dream to build the country of our dreams.
Wow. And India.
India is the, thoda cliched hoga, but it's the mother which keeps giving.
Wow. Bhavesh, I have to go on record to say this, that whenever there have been conversations in the last 10 years, one of the things that you stand for, and I always say this, is you're unapologetically you. Like, you have that madness. आदमी यहाँ तक तभी पहुँचता है जब जिगर हो कि करना है, and you have that, right? And I hope that we don't hear all these news and all this, but we are very proud of you and we are very proud of Ola and Ola Electric, because मैं कह रही थी ना कि अगर हम जाएंगे US तो हम कहेंगे कि हमारे पास Ola है और Ola Electric, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for being someone who's been one of the builders of the Indian startup story. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Shraddha. It means a lot coming from you.
Thank you.